Guys, and welcome back to the channel. Held Dominance, Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you're seeing and if you want to see more. Coming up in today's episode, we have scores and scorers from 3 competitions in the UK: the 1895 Cup, Betfred Championship, and the Betfred League One, as a full programme in League One was taken, and some catch-up games for the other 2 competitions. And we have full game highlights of Wakefield Trinity versus Wigan Warriors in the Challenge Cup quarter-finals, last game of the weekend. Let's begin with the 1895 Cup, sponsored by AB Sundecks, as this is the first game of the tournament, which was played on Saturday afternoon between Sheffield Eagles and Whitehaven. The 2 teams had the lowest ranked teams in the last 16 of the Challenge Cup, and while all 5 championship clubs went out at this stage, they still have a chance to play in the final of the 1895 trophy, the curtain raiser for the Challenge Cup final weekend, which this year is being played at the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The winner of this game goes through to the semi-finals to play Leeds Centurions and be only 80 minutes away from White Hart Lane. And it was Sheffield Eagles who went through with a resounding 40 points to 6 win over their championship rivals. Ben Jones-Bishop scored a hat-trick, while Quentin Lelo Tangage and Anthony Thackeray both got doubles, while Bass and Wellham got a try apiece. Isaac Farrell kicked 4 goals to complete the scoring for Sheffield Eagles. Whitehaven did get on the board with their only points through Dion Ayer try and a holiday conversion in the first half, but they were resoundingly beaten, as I mentioned, with Sheffield Eagles 40, Whitehaven 6. We now move into the Championship, as there was a game in hand for Bradford Bulls and Barrow Raiders as they faced each other after Barrow Raiders' exploits in the Challenge Cup, which postponed this game earlier in the season. The game went the way of the Barrow Raiders with a close to the end of the game, Gerard Samet drop goal to make it 23-22 to Barrow Raiders. Butler, Hall, Doyle and Dawson Jones all scored tries for Bradford Bulls, while Deck Patton kicked over 3 conversions. But Barrow Raiders have Wheeler, Carter and Mossop all on the scoring charts, but the game was levelled up with 3 conversions from Samet and 2 penalties also, before his dramatic drop goal won the game for the Raiders. And to go above rivals in the championship standings. We go into the 3rd round of the championship, as there are 5 games played over Saturday and Sunday. 1 game on Saturday, 4 on Sunday, yes. To see how teams are progressing in 1. Saturday saw London Scholars play North Wales Crusaders in what was a 6 points to 54 victory for North Wales Crusaders. Their scorers were, firstly for the Scholars, Leighton Ball scored the only try for the Scholars, while Phil Lyon converted that try. And the North Wales Crusaders, they saw Patrick Harvan, 2 tries from Jordan Gibson, another couple from Gavin Rodden, Rob Massam, Brad Brennan and 2 from Tommy Johnston, while Johnston kicked 9 goals as well. We now move into the Sunday game. The early game first of all, as Cornwall RLFC faced Midlands, and it was a one-sided affair again, and unfortunately for Cornwall in their attempt to progress, as Midlands Hurricanes won 60 points to 14. Midlands had to thank Dawson for a hat-trick, Clevering, Foggin Johnson, Wellham scored 2 tries, Croston and Freeman, who also scored a hat-trick, to set the ball rolling when they were leading 40 points to nil at half time. Stead kicked 8 goals as well. Aronson got his second in 2 games for Cornwall, while Jones and Snell both went over. Jones kicked the only conversion for Cornwall, who welcomed 1,497 fans to the club in the first home game. Doncaster 22, Swinton Lions 64 is our next game, as the rampant favourites Swinton put another big score against one of the other sides in the division. While Halliday and 2 tries from Talley, as well as another try for Story, gave Doncaster some decent points, with Robinson kicking 3 goals, Swinton blitzed their opponents, even with leading half-time at 34 points to 10. Hatton, Roberts, Hanson all got 2 tries apiece, while Brogan, Wilkinson, Gregson, Lloyd and Lepore all had a try apiece as well. Abrams kicked 10 goals as well. In probably the biggest score of the season so far, Oldham beat West Wales 100 points to 4. Oldham had 4 tries for Restall and hat-trick for Morgan, as well as doubles for Astley and Copeland, while Holcroft, Cook, Ridyard, Andrade and Thornton all went over for tries apiece. Ridyard also kicked 14 goals in the one-sided affair. 46 points to nil down at half-time. Merritt was the only point scorer for West Wales, as he got himself a try. And also in the OL postcode, Rochdale beat Hunslet 44 points to 20 through tries from Brearley, 2 from Baker. O'Keefe and Sheridan also got a pair each, while McNally and Forster put Hunslet to the sword. 4 conversions from Sheridan wraps up the 44 points, and at half-time a scoreline of 26 points to 14 made the game interesting and could go either way, to be fair. Sanderson, Render and Watson all got a try apiece for Hunslet, while there were 3 conversions by Sanderson and also a penalty by Sanderson that gave Hunslet all their 20 points. And with that, here are the table. Is the table for the Betfred League 1 after 3 rounds. Keighley Cougars had the weekend off due to the 11-team league, the 11 teams that you see here, but Swinton Lions lead the way with North Wales Crusaders. Rochdale Hornets comes next with 1 defeat out from their 3 games. Keighley Cougars are 2 from 2, but could join Swinton Lions or Crusaders when they play next weekend. Oldham RLFC have 1 win, 1 loss and 1 draw to the name, and are tied on 3 points with Hunslet due to their draw. Midland Hurricanes got their first win of the season and got their first 2 points of the season. Doncaster were felled by the rampant Swinton side, favourites for going up, as I keep mentioning. Cornwall RLFC, despite some serious endeavour and go forward, came up short yet again, unfortunately, but are not the bottom place team due to West Wales Raiders not doing so well. London Scholars are also another team that are yet to score a point, but they've only played 2 games so far. So now we move on to the last quarter-final game of the Challenge Cup quarter-finals, as we see Wakefield Trinity host Wigan Warriors for a place at Elland Road. Both sides come into the game with changes galore, as first of all Tom Johnson misses out in this semi-final, this quarter-final, and Lewis Murphy comes in for him on the right wing, on the left wing. Lee Gaskell replaces Jacob Miller, who is injured, and it is just the same pack as last time out that beat Salford 30 points to 24. On the bench, see Harry Bowles come back into the 17 in place of Yusuf Aydin, but still no David Fafita in the squad. Andrew Fafita, forget them, there's too many Fafitas in the world. For Wigan, the returning Ian Thornley makes his way onto the right wing for the first game after a warm-up game in midweek, while Liam Marshall misses out and Bevan French moves into the side. John Bateman moves back into the second row position, while at halfbacks Tommy Lulai comes back in for Harry Smith. Oliver Partington starts in place of Liam Byrne, who finds his way onto the bench, and Willie Isa drops out to the 17, which makes way for Thornley to be in. On the bench, we see Patrick Maego continue with Ethan Havard, and Joe Shorrocks comes in as the 17th man. In the early stages of the first half, Mason Lino has already hit a 40-20, and Wakefield have been the momentum team. Max Jowett has found Murphy on the wing, who seems to have dived into the corner, which the video referee is being asked to confirm the try by referee James Charles. While there's no issue with the grounding as he keeps hold of the ball, you see here he touches down before the ball goes into the in-goal area, so it's been ruled out. Young Murphy does really well, but unfortunate not to score. Wigan have been let off the hook at this stage, and after Liam Farrell breaks the line, he draws Max Jowett to pass it to his flying winger Jai Field, who goes in on the left side of the pitch. Zach Hardacre adds the extras for a 6-0 lead to Wigan, which is thoroughly undeserved at this point, as it's been all Wakefield. After the ball went out on a full from the kick-off after the try, and also a repeat set, this scrum almost gets Wigan in again, but that man Murphy does everything that he can and forces the ball out to give Wakefield a slight reprieve. Let's look at it again. He dives in on Thornley and completely takes the ball out of the Wigan man's hand, saving a certain try. And in what turns out to be an amazing minute for the Wakefield winger, Murphy gets the try and diving into the corner. The video referee is asked again to check it, but it's given this time for a 4-pointer to Wakefield. Here is the still that gave it. Tommy Lulai Superman. Max Jowett adds the extras for a 6-0 scoreline, but Wigan have got some speed in their halves. Look at this play. Zach Hardacre eventually makes the wrong move, but as it says in commentary, more speed in the Wigan backline than a 100-metre final on that attempted break by Wigan. But a few tackles later, it turns out that Wigan were going to go in. After this setup by Hardacre, yet again, his second hand in the play, Tommy Lulai steps off his left foot and breaks into open play. He passes the ball back inside for Ethan Havard to score Wigan's second try. Hardacre adds the extras, and it's 12-6. And despite Wakefield's early dominance in the first half, Wigan ground their way back in with a half-time scoreline at 12-6. It's early in the second half and Wigan are back on the attack. After John Bateman passes the ball back inside to Patrick Maego, he finds Jai Fields with a bit of a gap and he goes in to score the opening try of the half. And Wigan's lead goes up to 16-6, kick to come, which Hardacre adds the extras to. to make it 18 points to 6. Wakefield have started pushing themselves back into the game, getting some territory and causing 2 dropouts for Wigan to get back in the line, but Bevan French broken field attack comes back into play, and Liam Farrell takes the tackle so that they are deep in positions to be confident. But Wigan spin the ball right. Jai Fields and Kate Cuss find John Bateman, who draws in Hall and Murphy for Zach Hardacre to have a free run to the line. This is 22 points to 6, which Wigan extends to 24 points to 6. Now for an unfortunate series of events for Wakefield after a Kate Cuss goes up. Liam Kay unfortunately fumbles the ball, and Max Jowett also does so for Liam Farrell, just to pick up the ball and score Wigan's next try to make it 28 points to 6. Hardacre adds the extras again, as he's been perfect all throughout the game, to make it 30 points to 6. Wigan retain the possession of the ball late into the second half, and they go through the hands. Sharrock's Cuss and Bibby to Field, who goes in for the hat-trick. He was playing winger at this point, and Bevan French was playing at fullback. So Bevan French missed out on a try, but Jai Fields got his hat-trick. The hardest kick of the game for the Wigan side, and Hardacre nails it for the final points to close out the game. A thoroughly professional performance from Wigan, who took their chances when they needed to and defended really well when they had to, for a 36 points to 6 win. And now to move on to the semi-finals. Speaking of those semi-finals, the draw was actually made at half-time between the Wigan and Wakefield game, and as we now know all the finalists, semi-finalists, Huddersfield, Hull KR, St Helens and Wigan, who won in that order. Or was it Hull KR, Huddersfield? Yes, Hull KR, Huddersfield, St Helens and Wigan saw the draw, and Andrew Henderson drew out the home side, while think of his name, John. Oh goodness, that's gonna do me head in. John Wilkie, just pops in my head. Drew the away sides. So the first game that got drew out was Huddersfield facing Hull KR at Elland Road on May the 7th, with the Giants going up against the second Hull team in 2 games. Both are on good form at the moment, and it'll be a tough one for the Giants, and it'll be a really tough one with the completions and the areas of possession what Ian Watson wants for Tony Smith's men at Hull KR. The second game that was chosen, you could have guessed, it was Saints versus Wigan at Elland Road. Wigan, the home side. Again, it's going to be an interesting game, as Good Friday also sees Wigan face Saints. That's next weekend. That's going to be a blockbuster, to say the least. Saints have had a tougher draw, I must admit. Not really, but they had to go down to south of France. But now these local rivals will ping at each other. Saints have got the power and the precision, the relentlessness, while Wigan have got the sheer pace. It's going to be an interesting contest between the two, and Matty Pete and Christian Wolf will probably love every minute of it. Another local derby. They'll go smashing into each other. Plus, it's in a neutral venue. It'll be very raucous. Let's see how it gets on. And that's it for another episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and share this video worldwide as we get the word out for Rugby League. If You guys going down to Cornwall watching their games? That's the word out in rugby league as well, as we go out to the outer areas, the outer limits of what the sport can be seen at. What do you think of today's episode? I hope it's been positive for you, and I hope you're sharing the hell out of these videos so that we can grow the word for the channel as well as our sport. Need it to grow. I'll keep saying that until it's growing. Now, semi-finals at Elland Road, 40,000 stadium. Will be an interesting day out for everyone involved. Wigan versus Saints, going to be the headline of it. Can't draw away against it, but Huddersfield versus Hull KR is going to be another top game. Really top. The two coaches have got their teams on song, and they're doing really, really well in the league. Now, plenty of games through the lower leagues. The 1895 Cup, Sheffield Eagles go through. Now they've got a tough challenge against Leeds Centurions. Who's going to win that? You tell me in the comments. There've been some indifferent results. Is there some scarring on some of the teams, or are they trying to grow and organically waiting until they've got better and better and a better support structure behind everything in place so that it's strong? In Cornwall's case, I think they need that support structure to get them over the first hurdle. He's going to help them with that, as they're outside of the area. One that's not so outside of the area is West Wales Raiders. They're going to have a tough time of it. Hopefully they can get some decent backing and get some attendances so they can put some finances into them. We could talk about this all day, to be honest. It could be an entire episode, but I will leave that there and say thank you so much for watching. Share this video worldwide. I wish you all the best. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next episode.